Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be talking about the new updates that Hovgaard Games have put out today about Big Ambitions. Now they've released a roadmap again, and they've also detailed what's coming up here at the end of the month on March 27th with the new Early Access 0.5 release. Now let's jump right in and let's just see what they have to say about what's coming up for us and what's going to make things more exciting for the game moving on in the future. All right, so first things first. So they've detailed exactly what they're going to be doing with future updates. So they're no longer going to be basically doing internal testing only. They are actually going to be going with an experimental branch approach. Now they detail within this paragraph here that for new releases, they'll initially publish them on an experimental branch, which allows everyone that plays the game to test it out, which in my opinion is actually a really good idea. This gives many more different types of systems. It gives many more different types of eyes on the release itself. And honestly, although some people might find the approach a bit, different, or they don't like that type of approach when it comes to updating, I think this is honestly the best way to do it because you get plenty of different approaches. You get plenty of different ideas on how to play the game, all working in concert to make sure that this game and this update is released, in a very stable and honestly in a better manner. Now, they already said that once the update is available on the experimental branch, they'll start addressing the issues, shipping hotfixes, each accompanied by an independent Steam announcement, which is even better. So we'll know when they're actually releasing information and releasing content updates. Even though it's experimental, it's still a content update. And, it'll give us the ability to see what's moving on in the future before we touch our current saves. Now, it even says here, experimental branch saves are not compatible with the full release. Totally makes sense, obviously. So anything that we do gets rolled back to our 0.4 save game. So we basically can take our 0.4 save game, move it into the experimental branch, play the experimental branch while we're working on it, and then once it's released into the full stable release of the game, we start right back where we began on EA 0.4, basically where we left off on our save game. I think that's fantastic. That affords us the ability to really see what it's going to be like, with our current saves, etc. Now, for myself, I'm going to approach this with a new series. We're going to start from scratch with EA 0.5, and we're gonna see what it's like from beginning until where we're at now, essentially. And hopefully, with the rival system, that'll make it a lot more interesting. It'll hopefully give us, a better gameplay loop as we move forward and gain more money per day, etc. Because right now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it's kind of the same thing. We really are stuck with just going day after day after day, just gaining money just so we could try to buy new businesses or, rent buildings, etc. So really, it's best that they release this with a fresh approach to the end game, because that's really where it starts to become slow. It becomes repetitive, which that's fine. It's still an early access game. I'm not complaining. I love the game. Clearly, I've put out 33 videos of the game itself right now, and it's still early access 0.4. So I think it's worth, moving forward and keep playing, even though it can become slow. Anyway, they are going to be releasing 0.5 on the experimental branch on March 27th, which is coming up here in 8 days. Super awesome. So now next, we're going to discuss the roadmap, but they said back in August that they decided to remove the public roadmap, which personally speaking, I don't think that was a good idea. Now, they could have tweaked it, or they could have said like, hey, we're tweaking the roadmap. It's gone for now, but we're going to be bringing it back soon. That's fine. But they kind of just abruptly left it, and it dropped off, the face of the earth. You couldn't find it anymore. And then eventually we were getting these like blurbs on, Reddit and Twitter, etc., just showing us, hey, this is what's coming in EA 0.4. Personally, not a fan. I'm one person, obviously, and it's my personal opinion. Maybe other people did like that, and they felt that was the appropriate way to reach their audience. I don't believe that was. I like having an idea of what you're thinking, even if it's not concrete. And they explain here that they are reintroducing the roadmap as a living roadmap, which I think is excellent. I think this is a really good idea. They should be doing a living roadmap, something that can be fluid, something that can change, but you still have an idea of where their direction is. That way we can expect, you know, what their thoughts are, but we don't need to expect what's on the roadmap exactly. We could still try, you know, as we do these experimental branch updates, we could still try to steer the ship, so to speak, towards a direction that would, you know, still keep the game fun, fresh, and engaging. And, you know, with a static roadmap, you might see updates down the line where you're like, I don't know if that's really going to help. But with a living roadmap, you could see updates that are, you know, down the line potentially, and you could try to, you know, say like, okay, well, we've gone through these different phases of the roadmap. This next phase, it might not make sense. And the same thing can apply to them as well. They could see that in the future and say, I don't know if that's really going to work. And so you can change it. You can change it to something that makes more sense to not only the development team, but also your players. I think this is a very, very, very good idea. And as they even plainly say here, they're confident that their vision for the future is solid. I agree. Now, let's take a look at the roadmap in full and let's see what they have in the future, at least in their minds in the future for the game. All right, guys, I'm back on here. So as we can see here, their living roadmap goes all the way to early access 0.9, at least for now. So the first part here talks about early access 0.5, and it's including the rival system that makes taking over neighborhoods much harder, but it also includes UI optimizations, and which I think is even more exciting is the fact that they're adding a new area to the game for Lower Manhattan. Now, the way the game is situated currently, it's not 100% accurate. Right now, let's switch the game here. I have it pulled up, and I have it pulled up under a new save. Now, what we're seeing here is technically not accurate. The Garment District and Hell's Kitchen are not right next to each other from what I assume here is the west side of Lower Manhattan. Really, Hell's Kitchen, this should be Garment District. Hell's Kitchen should be basically where Garment and Murray Hill are, and then Murray Hill should be over here where Midtown is. That's fine. It's honestly not that big a deal. I can expect, though, based upon looking at Google Maps, you should at least expect, and at least I'm expecting it, that this will be where Lower Manhattan will start, where basically the Garment District is. Now, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe they'll start at this direction, and that's fine. Either way, it's going to be on the sides here, I'm sure. I just feel like on this side, given the fact that there is plenty more buildings and everything over here, I really feel like we'll see Lower Manhattan on this side. But you know, it's yet to be seen, obviously, and I guess we'll see it here on the 27th, which is going to be a pretty interesting take on the size of this map, and you know, how much space is it going to add? Is it going to be this entire area? It's totally going to be, you know, interesting. I'm really curious to see what they do. Now, moving back, we're looking at the next one being factory. So in early access 0.6, in their mind, they want to add, you know, assembly lines and production machinery that allows us to produce our own products. And I don't know about you guys, but that seems like a really, really cool idea. You know, not only are you going to be dealing with the fact that you're owning businesses, you're not only dealing with the fact that you're owning, you know, potentially real estate, but you're also going to be dealing with the fact that you can own the shipping, the receiving, and the production of all your products. The amount of profit that you could see from that is just insane. And you know, honestly, I'm really looking forward to that. And it really makes for a much more thorough and engaging way to play this type of simulation game. And you know, it's going to be really amazing. Now, they're also going to be doing more UI optimization. So, you know, while you're doing this experimental branch and you're playing it, never hesitate to throw in your ideas. Send them your ideas, send them bug reports, send them things that annoy you, like the drop-down menus when you are trying to, you know, change what the shelving sells and whatnot when things are right next to each other. Things like that. If you tell them, that's how it gets fixed. There's no other way to do it. And you know, I'm guilty of it too. You obviously see me playing the game. I don't report while I'm playing the game when I'm recording, obviously. And you know, it honestly just skips my mind. It really does. I don't know why it does, because it's such an annoying little thing, but it's what happens. All right, for early access 0.7 in their mind, they have basically show business. So it looks like theaters and cinemas are a new business type potentially. And, you know, it looks like they're going to be updating the Broadway area. So it says theaters in New York City need a home. So we'll be updating the Broadway area. Restocking and box consolidation. So they're going to be improving restocking and box consolidation. So that tells me that, like, when you're looking at boxes, especially if you're going to your warehouses and you're looking at every pallet shelf and you see like, oh, 200, you know, paper bags on a box, and then suddenly 14, you know, expensive gifts. Like there's just like amounts that don't make sense to be in a box any longer by itself. And there's, you know, multiple different amounts in the same product type sitting on the shelf. Like they need to consolidate, because those are taking up a box space on your shelves. And if you don't have enough pallet shelves, for instance, in your warehouse, let's say you don't have enough money to buy another one yet, you're just getting things going and you suddenly can't get the product coming in from the importers as well, that really, it hinders your progress. And, you know, the ability for these to be automatically, I'm assuming automatic consolidation here, that would be really, really nice, so that you're no longer seeing, you know, weird odd amounts of product types sitting in the shelves on in your warehouse. So EA 0.8, it looks like they're adding the Hamptons, which is interesting. It says show off your wealth in a brand new luxury island area, including player-owned residential homes, accessible by car or boat. And it looks like boats will be saleable here in 0.8. And the yacht will have a customizable interior. Now that is really cool. And even better, oh my God, personal drivers. Have a personal driver quickly travel around the city. No more will I have to drive around crashing like a fool and trying to park and then basically bumper carring my way out of a parking spot. This is exciting. I love the fact that they're adding personal drivers. This is really a great idea. In early access 0.9, golf and tennis. So you spend enough time watching your business grow, take a few minutes to enjoy some recreational sports. You've earned it. I agree. That is a really cool idea. And honestly, when it comes to sports and of the wealthy, golf and tennis seem to be the #1 sports for that. Now, this is interesting. It says the JFK airport. Inside the airport, several businesses can be operated by the player, but of course, the main purpose of an airport is to travel to new locations. ... So I know it's right here. It says Costa del Sol, introducing our very first DLC, fly overseas from JFK airport and land in sunny Malaga, Spain. It's time to take Uncle Fred up on his offer for drinks in his luxurious vacation home in Marbella. A brand new challenging journey awaits you. Now, this tells me that not only, and they've had this in the past, they talked about it in the past, prior roadmap, I'm pretty sure is what it was. The idea of adding London and Paris to the game as areas where we can grow our enterprise. And, you know, this is the stepping stone. Being able to set up a system that allows you to fly from New York City to another location in the world or in the United States, doesn't matter. Really a great idea. And this is, again, a stepping stone. And going to Costa del Sol in Malaga, Spain, as it says here, you know, maybe this will be a stepping stone moving into Spain. Maybe we go to Madrid. Maybe we go to, you know, Valencia, something like that. Who knows? You know, it could be anywhere from there, to be quite honest. And, you know, this is exciting. Knowing that they have an idea on how they want to expand out where we, you know, have our businesses. I think this is a really, really cool idea. And honestly, this roadmap is very promising. I really like seeing this. It gives me confidence that not only are they, you know, ready to give us this information again, but they're really hammering out an idea of where they want this game to go and where they want to, you know, go from that point as well. And, you know, I really hope that once they add modding support, which I'm pretty sure they've said in the past they want to do that, you know, maybe they give us the ability to, on our own, add new places, which again can be accessed through the JFK airport. I would love love to see, you know, what if we were to be able to go into places that, you know, maybe they don't have the wealth or the growth that New York City has, for instance. You know, what about, and this is personal for me because, you know, I'm in Michigan, and whenever I think of a town or a city that has had it rough and is, you know, up and coming, but it's still in that point of time where it needs the investment in order to grow, I think immediately of Detroit. How cool would it be for us to be able to fly from New York City to Detroit and functionally regrow the city and make it more vibrant? You know, like this says here, it has, you know, show business, so theaters, etc. So you have attractions that you can bring people to. You can open your, you know, your coffee shops, your burger joints, your hair salons, etc. Grow that city and, you know, bring it back up from the ashes, so to speak. And, you know, given the fact that there's production and everything like that, and adding hopefully mods, bring back the car industry. I mean, not that the car industry is suffering terribly right now, but most of the car industry has gone out of Detroit when it comes to how it used to be back in, you know, the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So something like that would be really cool. Again, probably through mods. I don't expect them to do something like that, personally speaking, but I think what we're seeing here is a great improvement on their idea on where this game needs to go. And I'm really looking forward to this, especially coming up here on March 27th for EA.5. I really am very excited for that. And we're going to play that. We're going to do an experimental playthrough as much as we can until they release it on stable, of course. So as it stands right now, that's, like I said, 8 days from now. I'm still going to be doing a gameplay video here probably in the next couple days, but we're going to be working on 0.5 here pretty soon, and maybe we can collectively together find ways that we can help improve the game ourselves. Now, we could still do that now, but this is a much more direct approach with the experimental branch. So I'm pretty excited. I hope you guys are as well. I really look forward to seeing where this all goes and how much of this is going to be, you know, down the line. How much are we actually going to get from this roadmap currently? But, you know, for now, guys, I thank you for watching, and I really hope you are as excited as I am about this. And yeah, if you like my videos, obviously, as usual, give it a like. Go ahead and subscribe for anything in the future. And obviously, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. This update is super exciting to me, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. So until next time, everyone, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye.